From sudden bouts of darkness to tornadoes filled with flames and creatures falling from the sky. Today we look at the strangest weather events in U.S. history. Number 10. Coldest day. Throughout 2019, the Midwest United States experienced some extremely chilly temperatures, with places like Detroit experiencing...
I was gonna say, sorry. The Midwest is Chicago. Chicago is definitely the Midwest. Chicago, Michigan. Where else is there in the Midwest? I know Chicago is definitely there. I've been learning so much. Just the fact I've been reacting to all these videos, I've learned so much about United States of America, and I'm so proud of myself. But yeah, the coldest day was in 2019. Sorry, let's get back. Interesting.
The United States experienced some extremely chilly temperatures, with places like Detroit experiencing minus 14-degree weather, Milwaukee dropping to 21 below zero, and Chicago somehow surviving negative 23 degrees Fahrenheit. In comparison to the history of the U.S., though, these temperatures are far from the worst experienced by Americans. The coldest day ever recorded on U.S. soil...
No. Well, minus 23. Oh. Do you know, the worst we get over here in England, if it's bad, like minus 4, minus 5 is taking it too far. Like, when I go to Scotland is always cold. Last time I was going to go hiking, and that to tell everyone, you can't breathe it out there because it was minus 4, I think, minus 4. So minus 23, I can't even picture what it'd be like. Like my fingers, because I'm always playing in the cold when it's like 1 degree or 0, my fingers will be gone. Minus 23, how can you survive? How? If you've experienced anything more than minus 10, can you describe, what's it like? Do you get migraines? Like, how do you survive that? Does your pipe block? Do you get blocked pipes? Oh God.
Was January 20th experienced by Americans. The coldest day ever recorded on U.S. soil was January 23, 1971, when the people of Prospect Creek, Alaska, endured a terrifying temperature of minus 80 degrees. When it comes to the lower 48 states, the coldest day came on January 20th, 1954, when Rogers Pass, Montana dropped to 70 degrees below zero. Number 9. Locust Plague. Being a Midwest farmer in the late 19th century...
I don't want to pause it, but I have to pause it. Minus 80. What can you wear? Like, you got a jacket, but what's that gonna do? You'd have to be inside. Blasting the radiator. Oh, minus 80 degrees. How do you survive that? 80. Alaska, you won't be seeing me anytime soon. I'm sorry. Like, I love the cold. Like, I grew up in Ireland. Ireland's cold. I love it. But my loving is like 3 degree, 4 degree. Like, I'm wearing shorts. I love wearing shorts. But minus 80, that's taking a piss.
Had its fair 9. Locust Plague. Being a Midwest farmer in the late 19th century had its fair share of obstacles. No modern machinery to work with, fickle soil and weather conditions, and most likely way more physical labor than most people could handle on a daily basis. So imagine how much worse it got for American farmers in 1874 when a swarm of locusts blanketed the sky before diving down on their crops. These insects rained down on the Midwest in droves, with historians estimating their number to be anywhere between 124 billion to 12.5 trillion. As they cut a path nearly 1,800 miles long and 110 miles wide, these pesky bugs devoured everything from sugar-concentrated crops to wooden tools, leather accessories, and even clothes right off the backs of bystanders. Their impromptu invasion ended up causing many families to suffer and even perish as starvation became a hazard to those in the area that would become the Dust Bowl. While farm animals like chickens did their part in eliminating the pest by simply eating them, the danger of locust invasion didn't pass until the Rocky Mountain grasshopper went extinct at the turn of the century. Number 8. Black Sunday. Speaking of the Dust Bowl, the dust-swept and drought-ridden region of the Midwest began its desolate transformation one fateful day, now referred to as Black Sunday. On April 14, 1935, a storm fell on the prairies of the Midwest, beginning in Oklahoma and Texas. Starting at 4 p.m., winds clocking in at 60 miles per hour swept along the plains, forming a black cloudy wall as they hurtled on. This effect came from loose dirt in the arid region, twisting and obstructing the vision of those who witnessed the storm. Reports at the time believed the anomaly to signal the end of days, as the blinding dust storm kept those outside from being able to see their hand in front of their face. The weather event blinded one man and had fatal consequences for small animals like birds and rodents as it rose thousands of feet into the air and stretched for hundreds of miles. This frightening phenomenon went on to inspire Congress to pass the Soil Conservation Act by the end of the year in hopes of avoiding such an occurrence from happening again. Number 7. Satan's Storm. On June 15, 1960, the residents of Copperell, Texas began their morning as normal with a typical early temperature of just around 70 degrees Fahrenheit. But in mere minutes, the warm desert air rose to an unbearable 100 degrees Fahrenheit out of nowhere. The sudden skyrocket in heat caused thermometers to burst, according to anecdotal accounts. People experienced power failures and false alarms as they awoke thinking something must be on fire. The National Weather Service unofficially reports that the temperature continued rising until it topped out at 140 degrees Fahrenheit and remained there for 3 hours straight. Eventually, the heat subsided, leaving farmers to investigate the level of damage wrought by the sudden heat wave. In its wake, people found that some cattle perished under the infernal sun, while corn and cotton cooked off the crop, ruining entire fields of vegetation. This event earned the name of Satan's Storm during its time. But today, we know the extreme switch in temperature to be a heat burst. These are caused from a thunderstorm rising and being pushed back down to the surface, leading the air below to become compressed and extremely hot. Number 6. Tornado Tantrums. Tornadoes plague the Midwest.
It's crazy that back then, before the 1900s, early 20th century, if something before 20th century, when something like this happens, everyone just think, oh, it's Satan, it's something supernatural. Not that science is just, it's science, you can actually see what happened. But imagine being alive back then. Starvation and all. Oh God. How do you even deal with that? Like over here, when you would get, like the heat wave in the UK, we had one like 2 weeks ago. It went up to like 30 degrees. No, even our heat wave was between 23 to like 27. During the daytime, and nighttime was like 13 to 17. And that for me, I was wearing shorts, just shorts alone. I was wearing tops. I had to get like a little fan. I couldn't survive in that. So I can't even picture if you're anything over 30, how do you survive that? Whenever I go on holiday, if I'm in Dubai or I'm in Ibiza, I expect it to be hot, but there's pools everywhere. In these places, is there a lot of water for people to feel cool down? In Texas, is there a lot of water in Texas? Like a lot of rivers and that? Let me know. Thank you.
West almost annually. And number 6, tornado tantrums. Tornadoes plague the Midwest almost annually, and at times more than one can touch down in a given place. But on April 3rd and April 4th in 1974, a flood of tornadoes spread across multiple states in the Ohio Valley, causing over $1 billion, adjusted for inflation, in damage, and claiming the lives of 335 people in the process. An astounding 148 twisters tore into the U.S., with some reaching a circumference of 5 miles wide. Then again in 2011, from April 25 to April 28, another flurry of tornadoes ravaged America, hitting as far north as Pennsylvania and New York, and reaching down to the deep south, as warm air at the ground level collided with the colder airs of.
Like, these tornadoes are scary, man. I think the main one that kind of sticks to my head, I'm not sure if it's a tornado, was the one that happens in New Orleans. What's it called again? It's very, like, when it happened, we knew about it in the UK. Normally, when stuff like that happened in the US, we don't hear about it here. But the one that happened in New Orleans, was it New Orleans? Is New Orleans in Louisiana, right? Yeah. Was it New Orleans? It was like a big, massive tornado. It was a storm that happened that claimed loads of lives. I feel like they're still cleaning up to now, I think. I don't think they've recovered. What's it called? It starts with S. Storm. I can't remember what it's called now.
Above, and atmospheric wind shears moved in, these catastrophic disasters left their mark on populated areas repeatedly throughout the 3-day span. This time, 349 twisters took the lives of over 300 people and caused $10.8 billion in damage. Number 5. Dark Day. In the 18th century, meteorology wasn't anywhere near as exact or capable of explaining weather-related phenomena the way it is today. So it's no wonder that accounts of the day when the sky went dark on May 19, 1780 are so superstitious and foreboding. Following right on the tail end of the American Revolution, the newly founded nation was already tense. So when the sun turned red, black rain fell from the sky carrying the scent of coal fire, and the population had to rely on candlelight in the middle of the day to see, you can understand how frightened Americans might have felt. Rather than any sort of Armageddon or Judgment Day, this scary ordeal can be attributed to a forest fire in the Ontario forest. The origin of the legendary Dark Day in New England wasn't discovered until 2007, when forestry experts out of the University of Missouri discovered fire scars in the woods of Ontario corresponding to that date. Number 4. Raining fish. We've all heard the saying, it's raining cats and dogs. But in 1947, the age-old phrase became reality, with a bit of an aquatic twist. As the population of Marksville, Louisiana left their homes on October 23rd that year, no forecast could have prepared them for the downpour that was to come. According to the Library of Congress, inhabitants of the southern town experienced a torrential shower that brought not only raindrops, but several fish as well. These accounts weren't the hoax they might seem to be, as the meteorological phenomenon known as raining animals has occurred many times across the planet and throughout history. Flightless creatures like spiders, frogs, octopus, and even jellyfish have been reported from China to Honduras over the last 2 centuries. While the cause of such an event has never been witnessed, the prevailing theory as to what causes such groups of animals to be displaced attribute the phenomena to waterspouts and updrafts. Waterspouts are the weaker of the two hypothesized sources, as the water-based tornadoes capable of flinging objects along the water at high speeds fail to suck up anything in their path. Updrafts, on the other hand, are strong winds that could more feasibly sweep up entire communities of animals before sending them plummeting to the earth below. The last accounts of raining animals in the U.S. took place in 2007, as worms rained onto Jennings, Louisiana, and in September 2016, and again in May of 2017, when fish drizzled down into Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, and Oroville, California, respectively. Number 3. Soil cyclone. Tropical cyclones form on the coast of the United States with semi-regularity, fueled by the heat energy they gather from the warmth of the ocean. As they move inward towards land and leave the ocean energy behind, they typically dissipate, and the thunderstorm that trails them overhead will disperse and fizzle away. But recently, studies have shown that not all cyclones fall apart so quickly, a point proven in 2007 with Tropical Storm Erin. As the cyclone entered Texas that August, it infiltrated the Lone Star State with wind speeds measuring a measly 40 miles per hour. However, within 3 days, the tropical storm continued to flourish, growing surprisingly strong by the time it reached Oklahoma. In fact, it more than doubled in wind speed from the time it touched land, and even eclipsed the strength of the cyclone at its peak while over the Gulf of Mexico. But how could such an anomaly be possible if no water warmth was present to keep the cyclone swirling? Moist soil, as new discoveries have shown, can substitute.
Sorry, but like the US is just. I don't have the words for the US. Like, you guys have everything. Like over here, compared, the UK is just boring. Like not boring, but like just there's nothing going on. You might get rain. It rains a lot. It rains a lot, but it just rain. Like when it's raining out there, like we're not scared to go out there to do anything. Like the last time we had a heat wave, yeah, I was playing football and I had blisters because the weather went up to like 28, 29 degrees while I was playing football. But I was wearing black football boots as well. So imagine playing football when it's like 60, 70 degrees. I'm not sure what the weather is like in Texas normally, but no, Texas is really hot. So how do you guys survive? How? I know some of you guys said, I can't remember this video I did when I found out most houses in the hot places. So the Midwest, I think the Midwest is, so actually no, the Midwest will be cold because Chicago is cold, Michigan is cold. Yeah, Michigan is cold. Detroit, Michigan is very cold. So places like Texas will be hot. So you guys have a lot of air conditioning. Well, like to me, I'm like, why do you have air conditioning? But it makes a lot of sense because it gets really hot. Over here, you barely see any house with air conditioning. It's all I've got a radiator right here. Most houses, like 100% of houses in the UK have radiators because it's cold 99% of the time. But we don't get tornadoes, storms, none of that. So it's very alien to us. So when we read about this and we see this, it's like, what is that? But for some of you guys, you're so used to see it happening. Like even earthquakes. I hear about earthquakes happening. I'm like, what was that? Like, I can't even picture an earthquake happening. I'll be so scared. I've never gone through an earthquake. But some places in the US, it's like it's normal. Wow. Let's continue this.
For ocean water if breached at the right temperature and hydration levels. Referred to as the brown ocean effect, this abnormality gave tropical storm Erin a longer life than meteorologists could have ever predicted at the time. Number 2. Fire tornado. During the Carr Fire event of 2018, one of the most terrifying weather anomalies of US history occurred when the largest fire tornado ever recorded took shape. Wildfires are all too common in the Golden State, but this specific fire was so massive, the resulting gases formed a pyrocumulus cloud above the raging inferno. This fire-crafted thunderstorm helped turn a commonly known fire whirl, which were thought to hit a maximum speed of 90 miles per hour, into a monstrous cyclone of cinder and ash. As the flames blazed on, winds within the tornado reached a speed of 143 miles per hour, rewriting the capabilities and hazards of such natural disasters. This incident was one of only 2 F3 tornadoes ever recorded in California, the other 2 spawning from a fiery event in 1926. Due to the size and severity of this one, and the fact that it claimed 1 casualty, this fire tornado is one of the most monumental weather events of all time. Number 1. Summerless Year. Also known as the Poverty Year, 1816 was the year without a summer, when temperatures all across the northern hemisphere remained frigid year-round, even through July and August. New England reported record-late snowfalls, experiencing heavy weather as late as June 11th. In the south, cities like Savannah, Georgia only reached 46 degrees Fahrenheit on the 4th of July. Much of the U.S. experienced a drought that same year in early fall, and winter weather started right back up by September. This freezing year was the result of an eruption in 1815 from Indonesia's Tambora volcano halfway around the world. The ash and dust of the eruption filled the stratosphere for the next year, blocking sunlight across the northern hemisphere, which ended up cooling that portion of the planet.
It's so crazy how everything connects. Because of what happened in Indonesia, that affected the... Oh my God, that's so... Wow. That was really impressive. It's good to learn about all these things. I feel like, because for years, over most people in the UK, we just always think it's the US. You guys don't like to travel, but it makes so much sense why a lot of people. I think was it like 30% of the of United people from the United States didn't have passports. Like, was it 30% or 20%? I can't remember now. Prior to 2020, I think. But that's because there's so much places to go in the US. Like, you guys have like the 50 states. And you can travel 5-6 hours and you still be in the same state. Texas is bigger than I think Texas is bigger than Europe. Oh God, that's mad. It's bigger than Europe or the UK, because the UK is tiny compared to everywhere else. So it makes sense to me as to why you guys want to stay there. So I just really can't wait to come to Texas. I think definitely, I've said it so many times, the first state I'm going to come to is Texas. And then when I'm in Texas, I think you guys said New Orleans, Louisiana is like 4 or 5 hours drive away. So that's meant to be good. God. Because when I'm in Scotland and I'm driving, if I drive 2 hours, that's me driving to the other, no, from Glasgow to somewhere like, let's say Glencoe is like an hour. From Glencoe to Inverness, which is like the other end, about another 2 hours, Isle of Skye. So if I want to drive from one end of Scotland to the other end, it's probably take me like 5 hours, 5-6 hours. And that's the whole country. While like in the US, you're just driving in the States. That's mad. But yeah, you guys want to see more stuff like this, learn about the US, the culture and all that, please like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you soon. Bye-bye.